So, which is harder, drawing 3D or drawing 2D? This video will dive into the question that everybody is asking recently. 3D modeling has become more accessible now more than ever. Instead of using a pen, you can use your mouse to create some good-looking artwork. This video will go through my experience with creating 2D and 3D arts. And then I will dive into the major difference and difficulty between the two different types of animation. Right now, it is showing various practice drawings I have on cartoon faces. They are either concept or just imitation of different concept art I found online. There was a time when I would spend like 3 hours per day after work drawing on my Cintiq for around 3 weeks, hoping that I would improve enough to do fast animation. I didn't. To create a complete 2D graphic, I found that a huge amount of time must be committed, especially if you are doing frame by frame animation, and I never committed to that level. I was never actually able to complete the 2D project. The low poly 3D animation that you will see here is created after a week of YouTube Blender tutorial and another week of converting 2D tag logos to 3D, which you can see in another video. It is in no way a complete project, but hopefully can contrast the amount of effort that goes into each animation and the result. I think you can tell what direction this video is going. Now that you have seen what I've created, I'm ready to tell you which is more difficult, which requires more commitment in terms of time and energy, which requires more muscle memory, thus more training. Sadly, 2D is so much harder than 3D. 3D itself is much more forgiving in terms of errors. For example, you render a 3D animation in the wrong angle. You can just move the camera and try again. With 2D, you don't have that option. You will probably start over from the beginning. And in 2D, you need to be very precise in picturing the final product. Otherwise, you wouldn't know how to start drawing. However, 3D is so much more flexible than 2D. You can complete a few models and move them around the scene to make them fit. 3D has many extra features that automate tasks such as lighting, texturing, and camera movement. You don't need to worry about what color to choose because you can simply change the texture, change the lighting, move it, until you find a scene that works for you. 2D takes a lot of training. It is so difficult to draw face or body to make it look natural. 2D artists takes a lot of practice because most are passionate about their arts, and it takes a lot of commitment and a lot of experimentation to get to a certain level. This is especially worse with 2D because it is easy to make mistakes in drawings. The eye is a little bit off, the posture is a little bit impossible, then the whole drawings will fail. While in 3D, you don't have to manipulate the whole line, you just have to move a simplified series of points, and then the computer will draw the line for you. Although you are hearing a lot of negativity about 2D from me, 2D is actually my favorite artwork, and I really wish that I can do it. And also I think in terms of realism, 3D is getting closer, but 2D has always done a good job catching realism. Last thing I want to talk about is the equipment you need. For 2D animation and graphics, you don't really need that powerful of a graphic card. However, you do need to purchase a graphic tablet to draw on your computer, which can get quite expensive if you actually want to see what you draw on the tablet. A Cintiq is quite costly, but you should really be drawing on the monitor instead of guessing where you're drawing. You can use free and open source software like Krita and Inkscape to start with. However, you might want to move on to Adobe Creative Cloud simply because a lot of people are using it, which is another cost that you need to consider. Subscription service can be costly. For 3D animation, you just need a better graphic card in your computer. Blender is free and open source. You don't need to pay for anything else, except for the electricity bill of keeping your laptop or your computer rendering all night. I've always used my Lenovo Legion to render, so you might sometimes hear the laptop fan running in the background in one of my videos. Also, you might want to get used to the noisy fan if you live in a dorm room or a confined area. Desktop fan noise can actually drive you and your roommate insane. So, which is the best for you? Leave your answers in the comment below. Are you going to start drawing in 2D and get yourself a tablet? Or are you going to get an expensive graphic card to draw in Blender? The choice is yours.